Welcome back, my children, to Dark Souls 3. When last we left off, we became married to Henri, and we talked to Yorshka, and became part of the Dark Moon Blades, and we moaned really hard. And then we came here to Anor Londo with Silver Knights. So you'll notice that these knights have red eyes. Now, I've been kind of holding off on explaining what red eye meant, and it doesn't mean you need, like, Clearasil for your dry eyes. But what it... Oh, Silver Knight Helm. Nice. But anyway, what the red eyes mean... Good pose. What the red eyes mean is that anyone with red eyes has been infected and infested by the abyss, by the deep. Anything with red eyes... in addition to that, is weak to the Farron Greatsword, or the Abyss Watcher's Greatsword, the Artorias Greatsword, or the Abyss Watcher's Greatsword, whichever one. You transpose the Abyss Watcher's soul into either or. And it's weak to them because they are weapons specifically made for destroying creatures of the Abyss. Even the Abyss Watchers were infected by the Abyss, which is why every so often an Abyss Watcher with red eyes would spawn and fight against the normal Abyss Watchers, because they were infected by the growing and coming Abyss. So anything with red eyes is like that, along with several bosses, including the one we're going to face very soon. In case it wasn't obvious who we're going to face, I'm going to put my Pope gear back on, because it's just, you know, it's just thematic for the area that we're in. I'll just put our Pope gear back on. Oh, where's my Archdeacon skirt, because it's fancier. Anyway. Oh no! No! Giant! Blacksmith, not you! You don't deserve this. Coal used for weapon infusion. It is said that the giant blacksmith of Anor Londo was once the blacksmith of the gods. Nighty-night, friend. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksmith. So this is the giant blacksmith of Anor Londo. In Dark Souls 1, he was a really cool guy that did your weapon, your lightning infusions and stuff like that, and he sold late game upgrade material. He was an overall very nice person, and now we're crawling on him. He was overall a very nice character. He was always your friend, and even if you attacked him, at the end of the day, he would just say nighty-night when you killed him. I'm gonna miss you, giant bro. So it's very likely that Aldrich killed him. Aldrich, or the Drenglaic knights that he had in tow with him, either or, seeing as they are racist, giant-hating bastards. Oh, by the way, there's a little area out there you can stand on. There's nothing there. It's pointless. Which is why we didn't go there. Now then, look at all those red eyes infested by the abyss. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. No! You killed Giant Friend! Die! Proof of a Concord kept. And another Deacon robe, why not? Oh, you some bitches. You take this, shove it up your ass. I'm killing you with your own Cathedral Knight's greatsword. How's it feel? And notice they just completely disappear from the universe once you kill them. Anyway, this in Dark Souls 1, and of course it's a boss fight here as well, was the entrance to the boss fight with Ornstein and Smo. Very, very well known as the most iconic fight of Dark Souls 1, and one of the hardest fights in Dark Souls history. So of course it is another boss fight here. Let's Karthus Flame Arc to help get rid of these slimes. So, These slimes are special. Because they are not normal. These slimes are all bits of Aldrich, basically, of Aldrich's massive sludge that have dripped off of him. Speaking of which, so, nope, not that. Pulling out my torch so that we can better see everything that's going on. You notice that there's just sludge all over the place on the floor as we walk around. Okay, swiping doesn't work too well. Oh, Titanite shards, okay. So yeah, fire is helpful against these guys. It's not perfect, but better than nothing, right? Luckily, we can dead angle these guys with our side swipe R1. And if we look up on the ceiling, you'll see that there are more of them on the ceiling. Kind of hard to see. But if we run around here, you see that the entire area is dilapidated now. Moonlight arrows. Cool. The entire zone is dilapidated. In the past, in Dark Souls 1... Well, not up here, but, is there anything up here? Just double checking. No, didn't think so. Okay. Really? Okay. I thought I saw something for a second. I'm blind. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. Not sorry. Anyway, in the past, in Dark Souls 1, right here, right around here, was an opening that went into... Up there it is. Right here. Led to the inner castle rooms of Anor Londo. Of Anor Londo proper. Where you fought many Silver Knights. Oh, speaking of which, we never took a look at that Silver Knight helm. Let's do so. See, it looks very similar to the Black Knight helm. Helm of the Silver Knights, allegiance to the royals of old. It is said that even after the family's passing, the knights continued to watch over their manor in the ruined cathedral. So I'll be collecting the rest of that set on my free time. Fun. Anyway, the Silver Knights in Dark Souls 1 were actually illusions created by Gwendolyn in order to stave off invaders. Gwendolyn was a very, very accomplished mage who was very, very good at magic, and especially illusions, because all of Anor Londo, or at least the outer reaches of Anor Londo, were all an illusion that Gwendolyn cast to make everything look magnificent and golden and showered in sunlight, when really Anor Londo had long ago gone dark and bleak because of Gwyn leaving and the rest of the gods. Alright, so let's swap this back to the Black Bow of Ferris. If we look up there, there is one of those creatures again. Crap, what are they called? What are these guys called? I think it's the Deep Accursed, I think is what it's called. Anyway, this creature is highly hinted at to be from the deep, as in from the abyss. A creature of the abyss. And there are only two of them that we see in the entire game. The first one is back at the Cathedral of the Deep, on our pathway towards the Deacons of the Deep when we think we're going to get to Aldrich, and the second one is here, outside of Aldrich's boss room. So Aldrich definitely has ties to the abyss and the creatures of the abyss, and this is pretty much what they are. Aldrich is basically trying to bring about an age where these creatures become much more common. Slime. So if you recall, this guy is kind of annoying because he inflicts curse as he fights you. Yep, careful. A little low on health here. Not sure this big-ass weapon is the best of worlds. Whoa. No, it's not the best. No, stop locking on. I don't want to lock on. I want to free form here. His weapon's just a tiny bit slow. Just a tiny bit slow. But I got this. I get this. Gotta be real careful of his mouth, mainly. Because I don't want to get cursed. And look, another slime. And then he's just gonna spit out curse. You know, you're gross. You are gross. You big, dumb spider face. You dumb spider face. Now, so this is the kind of thing that Aldrich is like, yeah, this is beneficial to the world. This is what I like. This is my fetish, is what Aldrich is going on about. Well, that hurt. Alright, he dead now. He not dead now. He dead now. Okay. Oh, and he drops us the Aldrich Ruby. Ow. You know, screw you slimes. I'm just trying to get by. And now you're gonna die. Now you're gonna die real hard. With a vengeance. Alright, maybe sweeping is better in this case because there's so many of them. Well, not if I aim over them. Anyway, luckily we got through that deep accursed enemy without too much issue. Didn't get cursed by him, which is helpful. And now we can push this sluice. This is just where it was in Dark Souls 1, and it should, by which I mean will, open these massive double doors as a nice little shortcut back to the bonfire, which I'm likely to need. I have a feeling I'm going to die in this fight. Anyway, I'm going to swap this weapon out for something less slow. I'm probably just going to use my Uchi. Let's see. What do I have in the way of... Oh, cool, I've got Karthus. Let's go see if we can bleed Aldrich. Which we can. I know for a fact we can bleed Aldrich. Anyway. We did all that. Freaking... Let's take a look at our Aldrich Ruby. Which we got... down here? Somewhere? There we go. Malformed ring left by Aldrich, Saint of the Deep, recovers HP from critical attacks. Aldrich, infamous for his appetite for flesh, apparently had the desire to share with others his joy of imbibing the final shudders of life while luxuriating in his victim's screams. So, yeah. Lovely. Aldrich likes to eat people, and he wants other people to like eating people. That's what I'm getting from that. Anyway, let's see if we can do this first try with suboptimal Estus. Aldrich, Devourer of Gods, hello! Let's get all up in here. So, first off, you notice there's sludge all over the place. If you recall, Aldrich is a bit goopy. And you'll notice that Aldrich physically kind of looks like Gwendolyn from Dark Souls 1 because he's currently devouring Gwendolyn. Which is the reason for that. That is his most dangerous attack. Do not get caught up in that attack. You will die. I'm not even joking at all. If he shoots arrows, you fucking do not get caught by that, or you will die. 100%. 100%. Okay, phase 2. Phase 2, he becomes a little bit fiery. Well, we're doing good. He's about to teleport. So yeah, he gained the teleporting powers from devouring Gwendolyn. In fact, he gained pretty much all of the powers that he's using to fight us from devouring Gwendolyn. That is Gwendolyn's body on his upper half. And the song itself is a remixed version of the Gwendolyn boss fight song in Dark Souls 1. So I really like this fight. I like the song, at least. I like the reference and everything. Alright, Aldrich, you're almost dead, so don't screw me over here. Oh hey, there's that Gwendolyn attack we haven't seen. Nice. And... oh, how easy was that? Cinders of a Lord and the Soul of Aldrich, and then this happens.
Unkindled one. The fire fades and awaits its one last Lord. Prince Lothric is in your hands. Please save his soul.
Prince Lothric, that's the other Lord of Cinder we need to talk with. Talk with, yes. And thus we've been kind of transported against our will. I don't know why we have been transporting against our will. Okay, so I'd love to talk to you right now, but this is not the time. We will speak in the future. I hope this does not change anything from what is supposed to happen. See you in the future, madam. I'm just gonna bone out. I'm just gonna bone out. And we'll hopefully be able to talk to her when I feel like it. Right now, I kind of don't feel like it. Also, I have a ass ton of souls. There's a couple of reasons why I don't want to talk to her. Chief of which being it will start a boss fight. It'll start a boss fight with the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, and I unfortunately did not quite feel up to the task with one Estus left. And I'm going to buy the Elite Knight set because Dark Souls 1 is my favorite Dark Souls. I'm also going to buy the Eastern set because Dark Souls 1 is my favorite. Oh look, we have Smo's set! Yay! I think we already had Smo's set, but, you know, I just wanted to point it out. And the Wood Grain Ring! Slows equipment degradation is now available from the Eastern set thing as well. Special ring crafted in the Eastern land is made of metal, but with a wood grain crest on its surface. Slows equipment degradation. Wielders of swords originating in the same region follow a practice of inscribing special words on their blades of the swords and are naturally drawn to this ring. So if you're ever afraid of your weapon breaking, I mean, or of any equipment breaking, but you see this has not happened to us at all, or even close to it. Oh, by the way, let's purchase more armor. Let's get more, let the fashion ring true. Let fashion souls be our guide. Alright, I'm broke now. I spent my 90,000 souls on fashionable clothing. Here, let's put some fashionable clothing on. Well, I think I know what I want to wear. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have a certain fondness for the Elite Knight equipment because, well, it's a little iconic. A little iconic. Very good. Very good. I wonder if Aldrich is... oh yeah, Aldrich's bonfire is active. Good, the game activated it for me so I could teleport to it, because there's a little bit more to take care of in Anor Londo before I go murder the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, which I'd very much like for us to finish doing. So, first thing I want to point out... anyway, this is the room where we fought Ornstein and Smo in Dark Souls 1. Look at the ground. Look at the sludge, and the corpses, and the liquid, and the goop, and the leech, the worms, and the roots and stuff growing out of this place. None of this stuff is natural. This is all drainage from Aldrich. So Aldrich, as you recall, came out of a massive, giant, super huge coffin because he is pretty physically large. Now, for one reason or another, his body mass, as in all this goop and corpses and skeletons and body parts and stuff, has been just dripping off of him as he's been moving from the Cathedral of the Deep all the way here into the Irithyll Valley and up to Anor Londo. So all of this stuff is basically drainage coming off that has come off of his body during his travels, which is the only way to explain why he is physically smaller than what he once was without, without it being, video games and stuff. No! Amazing chest isn't here! Damn it. Sun Princess ring. So this is where Guinevere, or the illusion of Guinevere once lied, but I mean, maybe Guinevere was this large, otherwise why would this massive, it's not a sofa, but the closest thing I can think of is a sofa. Why would this massive sofa exist in the first place with the massive pillow unless Guinevere was that large? Unless Gwendolyn wanted to do some really elaborate illusion stuff. Anyway. Oh, wait, this is Sun Princess ring. Ring associated with Guinevere, Princess of Sunlight and eldest daughter of Gwyn, the First Lord. The ring is vaguely warm like a beam of sunlight and gradually recovers HP. Guinevere left her home with a great many other deities and became a wife and mother, raising several heavenly children. So Guinevere got the fuck out of Anor Londo, and it's a good thing she got the fuck out of Anor Londo for her sake, because Anor Londo is not in a good way. It stopped being in a good way a long time ago, and it continues to get worse and worse every time that we visit Anor Londo. It gets worse. Oh, hey. What are you guys doing there? Oh, wow, this actually overlooks that area. Never knew. But yes, very good for Guinevere to get out of here. So let's go over the last of what Aldrich, Devourer of Gods, left us. His soul. You'll notice that the soul of Aldrich is blue like the soul of the Deacons of the Deep, because it is tainted by the Abyss, much like the demon souls are red because they are tainted by the Chaos Flame. I don't know about the soul of the Crystal Sage. I don't know why it's blue like this. I think it's because this Crystal Sage was in allegiance with the Deacons in a way? So maybe slightly corrupted by the Abyss? Hard to say. Unless it's just blue to look pretty. Anyway, Soul of Aldrich. When Aldrich ruminated on the fading of the fire, it inspired visions of a coming age of the deep sea. He knew the path would be arduous, but he had no fear. He would devour the gods himself. And let's go talk with Ludlith. Over here. And let's check the transposition for what Aldrich can create. Life Hunt Scythe. Steal HP of foes using an illusory scythe. Miracle of Aldrich, Devourer of Gods. Aldrich dreamt as he slowly devoured the god of the dark moon. In this dream, he perceived the form of a young pale girl in hiding. This is a reference to Priscilla, the crossbreed Priscilla, who I talked about before, who resided in the painted world of Ariamis. So Gwendolyn knew about Priscilla's existence, obviously. And anything that Gwendolyn knew as Aldrich was devouring him, Aldrich then became keenly aware of as well. So Aldrich was... This confirms that Aldrich was devouring Gwendolyn, hence the fact that Gwendolyn was the upper body of Aldrich's big worm-like appearance, and why Aldrich was able to cast all of Gwendolyn's spells. Let's see... In addition to that, we can get the Dark Moon Longbow. Longbow of Dark Moon Gwendolyn, who was gradually devoured by Aldrich. This golden bow is imbued with powerful magic and is most impressive with moonlight arrows. Infuse a readied arrow with Dark Moon Essence, granting it magic damage and the ability to pierce shields with the Dark Moon Arrow ability. So, with this, we've learned that Aldrich learned of the coming age of what he perceived as a deep sea. And the Age of Dark is kind of the opposite of the Age of Light, or the Age of Fire. So the Age of Dark may very well be an age of the deep, as in the sea. They called it the Age of the Deep. It was called in Dark Souls 1 the Age of the Dark, but it seems to be very much the exact same theory, where the Age of Fire dies out, and instead we have an Age of Darkness, because obviously if you were engulfed in a deep sea, there will no longer be light available to you. Deep, deep in the sea are horrible, horrible creatures in darkness. I'm slightly not comfortable with super deep water myself. Anyway, we've got a couple other things to do. And before we call this an episode, let's go talk with Andre.
It is good, wasn't he?
We have a coal for you.
My. The coal of that peaceable giant.
I know, man.
Seems like ages passed. I imagine his passing was long ago.
It doesn't make it better.
I miss the old bugger writers. My thanks. I'll be sure this coal is put to good use. I'll be smithing weapons never afore seen by the likes of ye. It's but a small service to pay my humble respects.
Can we sign a petition to replace Andre with the giant? Man. Did I not pick up the Estus shard back in there? Oh man, I must have missed the Estus shard that's back in there. Crap. Well, we're going back there. We're going back to pick up the Estus shard that I missed. Anyway, that is the giant's coal that we have given to Andre. Rest in peace, giant. I'm gonna miss you, giant blacksmith, bro. Alright. Back here in Anor Londo. So our trip to Anor Londo in Dark Souls 3 is much shorter than our trip to Anor Londo in Dark Souls 1. Anor Londo takes a bit of doing to get through in Dark Souls 1. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there it is, shrouded in darkness. Estus Shard. I believe that's everything that I needed. As you can see, Evilak is no longer on the top of the ceiling or anything like that. He is a one-and-done enemy in both areas. And there are 2 of him total in the entire game, so... back to the shrine. I don't care about you guys. You guys are nerds. So, yes, now we've got that Estus Shard. Waifu Bonfire Chan is way over there. Talk with Andre. Reinforced Estus Flask. Perfect. Good to go. Now we have 13 Estus. Cool. So, with all this, we've learned that Aldrich's motivations are pretty self-explanatory. God devour Aldrich. If the lords will not return to their thrones themselves, let them return as cinders. Aldrich became a lord by devouring men, but was disillusioned with his throne, and so took to devouring gods instead. So, Aldrich devoured men, became powerful, more and more and more powerful, until eventually he was made a Lord of Cinder based on his own power, and the fact that people feared him. So he linked the fire, but became disillusioned with this. He saw a coming age of the deep, and decided that instead of pressing forward with the Age of Fire, he would much rather bring about the Age of the Deep. And the thing is, the Age of Fire was perpetuated by the gods, so Aldrich got the clever idea to go to the home of the gods and devour them to prevent them from continuing the Age of Fire to help bring about the Age of the Deep, or the Age of Dark. And that's basically the backstory upon what Aldrich did. And Aldrich is, well, the only real way to put it is a dickbag. a complete and total dickbag and a complete jerk, and we hate him. Why do we hate Aldrich? Because he destroyed Anor Londo, our favorite place in Dark Souls 1, with Gwendolyn in it and Priscilla in it. And, well, I guess no one cares about Orange Dinosaur, but Guinevere in it. And he went around murdering and eating people, and he was an overall douche. And Aldrich, you wanted the Age of the Deep? Well, too bad. Your time has come to an end. Get in your chair, do your duty, and help me get to the first flame. You filthy, disgusting monster. And one thing to denote before we end off, Aldrich's skull, covered in worms, rot, and disgust, is still the skull of a human. Because before anything else, Aldrich was nothing more than a deacon engorged on human remains. Well, Aldrich, see you later.